Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate the introduction there. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for taking the time this morning to learn more about Onyx Gold. I'm really interested and keen to introduce our exploration company. We're one of the newest on the block, so I look forward to taking you through our story. And if you have any questions, please ask at the end. Maybe before actually I start is these two samples right here are part of our private collection, and it's from the Croesus mine, which we control. It's just east of Matheson, and it's part of our flagship property. And it's the highest grade past producing mine in Ontario. It was up to 25% gold, or about 14,000 ounces per ton. And it's an incredible history here, and I'll take you through. We made a new discovery only 320 meters away on a parallel type of vein that was a blind discovery that we made last fall, and we followed up in this spring. I'll be making forward-looking statements, so if I just encourage you to take a look at that when you have the time. So Onyx Gold is a new company. We were recently spun out of a company called High Gold Mining last summer. We raised $8.4 million on the go public. And basically what Onyx is, we're a discovery exploration focused company focused on two different jurisdictions in Canada. In Timmins, we're quickly assembling one of the largest land positions for an explorer with that view to become the #1 kind of go-to exploration company in the camp that wants to unlock the next generation of assets in this prolific gold camp. And then the other area we have a key focus on is in the Eastern Tombstone Gold Belt of Yukon. We're situated right beside Snowline Gold, who has made one of the most exciting gold discoveries in recent history in Canada, significant, huge scale, and we're the only other gold company situated immediately right beside them, covering several different intrusions of the same geology and potential. We confirmed some widespread gold mineralization there last summer, and we look forward to a summer program there as well. Given we're in Timmins, I'll be focusing predominantly on Ontario, but if you have any questions on Yukon, please ask. Here's our cap structure. Since we're a new company, we're tightly held. We're sub 48 million shares outstanding. 21% of our shares are owned by 3 different gold companies, including a well-known gold producer in the camp. And as High Gold Mining, our sister company, owns about 5% of us as well. We have quite a good institutional share base in addition to high net worth individuals. We have about 13 million market cap at our current share price, and we have about over 3 million in cash. So we still have, the cash to execute, but also we're still tightly held. So it doesn't take much results here to move the stock very quickly on the back of any exploration success. So here's the chessboard for Timmins. We control 420 square kilometers between 3 properties in Timmins. Our Timmins South and Golden Mile properties are surrounding the Timmins area proper. And then our Monroe Croesus property, which I mentioned about that bonanza grade historical production, is just east of Matheson, right beside Mayfair Gold's Van Gip deposit, Stellar's Golden Highway, and the Black Fox, McEwen Mining's Black Fox complex. So the strategy here for over the recent years has basically been consolidating fragmented ownership. So we want to be focused in one of the most prolific gold camps in the world, and the #1 gold producer in Canada. And so as an exploration company, go where the gold is. And then after that, we look at the areas where that exploration's been held back, largely because it's a mature camp, fragmented ownership, patent claims, different vendors, properties basically held back a significant amount of exploration. And then the other areas that we're focused on is kind of traditional dogma, where you always have to be close to the main key structures in the camp, and obviously a lot of the past producing mines were outcrop discoveries. So a lot of properties with overburden or shallow lakes haven't seen that level of exploration as they rightfully deserve. So that's our focus in the camp, is to consolidate that kind of prime geological real estate that's been previously held back for those reasons. So starting with the Monroe Croesus property, so just going back a slide, so just zooming into our Monroe Croesus property in eastern Matheson, eastern Timmins. So it's 93 square kilometers. In 2019, when we started our consolidation, it was 3.4 square kilometers. So we've done over 30 deals to expand this property over 26-fold. And we're not just consolidating moose pasture here. We're consolidating the key geological breaks, the Pipestone, the Monroe faults that are known to host million-ounce deposits surrounding us. but it additionally held back because of that fragmented ownership, because that long history about Croesus. So in 1904, when the mine opened up, it caused a massive staking rush of patent claims, and a lot of those deals that we've done have been, with mom and pa's and families that have been, these patents have been passed down for multiple generations, and we've reached out to them and then done a deal. So it's been a lot of hard work, but it's been worth it because we're consolidating this prime geological real estate. And sure enough, we, in the last drill programs in the fall and then this spring, fall of last year and the spring of this year, we've made 2 new discoveries that we're really excited about. The GM vein, which is that high-grade near-surface discovery, located only 320 meters away from the old Croesus mine. And then the Argus zone, which is an early-stage kind of Fen-Gib lookalike. It's bulk tonnage near surface, hosted peripherally by the Pipestone Fault, which is the key structural fault that hosts the Fen-Gib deposit only about 6 kilometers away. Outside of those 2 discoveries, we still have a strong pipeline of targets, over 30 targets to be exact, including areas like the C-Zone on a property we recently acquired only a couple months ago. It adds 22 square kilometers, about 11 targets, and C-Zone is really exciting. It's a historic prospector in 94 blasted a trench and got 2,500 grams in a beautiful vein with VG in it, and it hasn't seen very little exploration work. So we're really keen to get there this summer to open up the trenches. Hasn't been worked since 2011, and start to do work there, in addition to continue to expand these 2 new discoveries I mentioned. So just zooming into the GM vein discovery. So in the bottom of the map, you can see the old Croesus shaft, and basically the GM vein is located 320 meters away. And over the several years, we've really looked into the geology and trying to understand what was so responsible for these really bonanza grades at Croesus. And basically what it is where these northeast trending structures that come off the Pipestone Fault are basically, that's where these conduits for fluids, and where it hits this permissible host, which is this flow top breccia, you get a perfect chemical trap meet structure, and they get these bonanza grades. So we basically decided, let's continue to follow the geology, step out, drill for structure, kind of mine for grade type of approach. And sure enough, we made a blind discovery right under, and the vein is basically daylights under a marsh. And that's why for 100 years, no one's been able to find this. This is the first time that it's our original result last fall was the best intercept in 100 years in our database that we have. It was 0.9 meters over 122 grams. Within that, there was 30 centimeters of 363 grams, or a foot-wide vein of 10.6 ounces. Really good proof of concept. It's only about 50 meters below surface. And so in the spring, we followed up for the first time. That's what it looks like with the drone photo of the drill. And we did tightly spaced drilling to figure out the plunge within, the high-grade plunge within that vein. So once we figured it out, which we successfully did, we're getting some great results, half meter, 52 grams. And recall, this is only about 55 meters below surface. So very shallow, abundant visible gold in this vein. Really excited about this opportunity. Now with this type of tightly spaced drilling, like I said, we figured out the plunge. And now with future programs later this year, we'll start to step out. And the idea is, it's relatively narrow now, but obviously in the Abitibi, these high-grade veins pinch and swell. So now that we figured out the orientation of the plunge, we can continue stepping out along strike and basically hope where this blows out, instead of being 2-3 feet, it goes to 10 feet, or that's the kind of goal. The other one is 3 kilometers away is this Argus. So originally it was a late 2022 discovery with a couple holes. And then last fall, a part of our 4,000 meter program, we stepped out significantly and we doubled the strike length. So now this thing is 525 meters long on a strike length, about 200 meters wide. And our westernmost hole, as it converges to the Pipestone, our grade was significantly increasing. So we're getting close to 30 meters of a gram, and this is near surface bulk tonnage opportunity. So this is that area is what we followed up in the spring. We finished drilling at the end of April, so we still have 5 holes pending from this zone, focused and basically expanding in this area where we see the zone increasing in strength as it converges with the Pipestone. And that's what you typically see at Fen-Gib, where you have more lower grade, smaller widths at Fen-Gib, but then when you get in the heart of the Pipestone Fault within the zone, that's when you get those significant intercepts and grades. So this is what we're really excited about. And like I said, stay tuned. We have some results pending in the near term. And I think we're really excited about what we have in store and what we can follow up on, and particularly in this area. So Munro Croesus as a whole is an excellent property because it has that high grade potential, but also has that scale potential with that bulk tonnage Argus discovery. And so this is what it looks like from a drone photo. The drone's taken, it's right over the Black Fox complex where they access the underground Froome deposit at the bottom of the pit. You can see, this is why we love Timmins as well. We're making discoveries right beside a highway, electricity, a current mine in production right beside us. So, streamlined permitting. It's a mature process, and we have neighbors who have significant potential as well. So, this is for us at a 13 million market cap. We can lead to a significant re-rate for our shareholders. And there's the other photo here. That's the old Croesus shaft. And basically, it's capped now. You can see the vent, and you can see the vein, Croesus vein, right there. It's about a foot wide, and it's running about 3-4 grams there. And then where the shaft is, it blows out to be 10 feet wide and 25% gold. So that's the opportunity going back to GM. That high grade vein is, you got the good grades, but these things can pinch and swell. And when you find that jewelry box, it doesn't have to be much tonnage to be extremely significant to miners around us on a hub and spoke. As we all know, there's a lot of hungry mills around here, and so our type of story can provide that organic growth. Grade carries, of course. So that's what we're really excited about. Then stay tuned. Another property we're really excited about as well is the Golden Mile. So this is just basically on trend from Hoyle Pond in the kind of we cover the Frederick House Lake area. And this is a really exciting property as well, where it's a big property, kind of stares down the barrel of close to 100 million ounces of historical production, but it's only seen about 15 holes. So it's got all the right structures, right geology, but very limited drilling because it's got 20 meters of overburden and there's a shallow lake. So that's been the hurdle. We've done a tremendous amount of geophysics, geochem, bottom lake bathymetry, and so now we have all the right ingredients to start drilling this thing. And the prize here would be finding a high-grade underground Timmins-style deposit underneath the lake or close to it, underneath the overburden. So envision kind of like a Kena, where you have a high-grade discovery that's below. It's below the lake, and you have built a causeway and a shaft. So the last property I want to talk about is Timmins South. So this is just south of the Dome and Hollinger and Timmins itself. It's kind of split between two main blocks now, the Shaw block and the main block. And the two geological kind of potential here, the two mineralization types, is on the Shaw block, it's a banded iron formation. Very limited work has been done in this area. We recently did a bunch of geochem and field mapping and rock sampling, and we grabbed a 30-gram grab sample within an banded iron formation. Hasn't seen any drilling yet, so we look forward to getting to there later this year as well to do some work. As well as the other style of mineralization of potential is these intrusion related. So these big monzonites to the south that are known to host gold as well. So it's a nice, again, back to like Munro Croesus, we have that high grade potential in addition to that bulk tonnage. So a really nice combination for a company like us. So just to reiterate, we're a new company. We're really excited to grow to be that go-to exploration company within Timmins. Make some discoveries, provide the organic growth potential for those hungry mills. We also have that optionality of Yukon that like I said, Snowline Gold has gone from a 20 million market cap to a 900 million market cap in about 18 months on the back of a world-class discovery. This is elephant country up there as well. It's a significant approach. So not even get a world-class Timmins exposure, but you get that exposure to Yukon as well. We also we're well funded. We have a management team with a track record of execution. But also, given our property jurisdictions, we can provide year-round news flow. So drilling fall, winter in Timmins, and then summertime will be in Timmins as well, in addition to Yukon. So we're kind of one of those standout, unique exploration companies that kind of provide that opportunity for shareholders. We're not that seasonality that can kind of really hurt people's share price. And just the typical generic life cycle of a company. We're right at the beginning of the Lassonde curve, so this is obviously where it's the highest risk, highest reward. key. So this is where we hope to, on the back of discoveries, lead a substantial outsized return for our shareholders who are willing to invest in us and understand the opportunity that we provide. And so maybe just quickly reiterate it on the news flow. So we have 5 results coming from the Argus zone, and then we'll be doing a field exploration, mapping, sampling, and in our property, at Munro Croesus property, in addition to a potential drill program at Golden Mile and Timmins South later this year, in addition to a follow-up drill program later this year at Munro Croesus. That's just Timmins itself, and then we have a phase 1 reconnaissance program scheduled for July in Yukon, and that phase 1 will inform a potential phase 2 drill program later this summer as well. So we will have several drill programs in addition to field mapping programs. So it's a busy year ahead. Thank you for your time.